Hello, and welcome.
Welcome to the LANCave. We're here living as nerds. I'm usually the one introducing us, but I'm a little out of my element here. I'm hanging out with Owen.
Yeah,
in person.
I couldn't tell. I was like, are you still technically like the host? Am I the host because I'm physically the host? So the stream is gonna look a little different.
Yeah, bear with us
because we're on my toys and not Patrick's toys, and normally he runs the ship from his place, but the meat and potatoes still stays the same.
That's right.
Still these
gaming,
awesome people right here.
nerd stuff, Star Wars. We're gonna get on a couple rants, so I hope you enjoy. I was gonna say we can start off with what we're playing.
Absolutely.
Which may segue right in. Let's have you start first.
Oh, well, I was gonna.
Oh, I can start.
No,
okay, go
that's
ahead.
a good point. You're a smart man. So I'm still playing Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
But I showed you that last week, so I was talking up this game a little bit, and this is Creature in the Well, on the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Really so it's difficult, which doesn't bother me, but they made, I think, a key mistake here. So if you're seeing on the video here, and if you're listening, I do apologize, but I'm going to talk about what you can see on the video. But so with the pinball action of the game, you hit it, but including your movement, everything is controlled with one stick. Including movement and the aim of the pinball. And so the right stick does nothing. Instead of making it twin stick, where you would twin stick the aim, that's what I would have done.
I don't understand why you wouldn't. I assumed when looking at this that your action button was a button. Not that having a directional would be a problem, but I would assume that it would have been a button. Putting everything on one stick seems like something that you would do to like purposely limit a game. But this isn't a game that needs that. It's already minimalistic enough in regards to its concept. So that's really unfortunate, because this is one that you got excited about based on the pinball stuff. And what was that, Gamescom, right?
No, E3
was E3? Okay.
I mean, they showed it again at Gamescom. I know that they purposely made it difficult, and maybe that's why they didn't do the twin stick action, but I think it would still be able to be difficult. If it's so frustrating to be trying to hit the ball and run, because there's like lasers that come at you and everything. So I got to a boss, and the boss stacks on itself, so like you make it through a phase, get to the next phase, and I consistently couldn't make it past this one phase for like a solid 30 minutes. And as we know, if I'm not enjoying a game, I quit.
Well, yeah, we've gotten to the point now where there's a lot of games, and there's not enough time to play all of them. So you gotta piece out when you're not having fun and you're not feeling. I'm saying this as someone who plays Dark Souls. No, you gotta quit. I mean, I quit. It's close
to do it. Like if you're having fun in the Dark Souls. Yeah.
Well, like I quit. What's it called? And I completely blanking on the name. I quit the recent game. Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Yeah, I quit that because I was not having fun. I was having fun up to an extent, being challenged. It's very enjoyable. And then I got to a boss that was difficult. And then they patched the boss to fix the ways that people were beating the boss. And I thought, that is ridiculous. Like, it wasn't an exploit that completely destroyed the boss, but they literally patched it and were like, oh, that's too easy because people found a workaround. I'm like, no.
They cheesed it.
No, that's okay.
I like my cheese.
Cheesing's okay because not everyone's gonna know the cheese, but people who want to look up the cheese can look up the cheese.
I had an excellent cheddar just last night.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I've been playing Final Fantasy VII because it is one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, it is.
So I've been playing Final Fantasy VII on Switch.
Started on the road
because I'm on the road, and it's convenient, as we talk about it ad nauseum. But being able to hit the power button and just be done, or go about whatever you need to do in your life, especially being in like airports and that kind of stuff. The Switch is amazing. It's the best travel console I've ever had. So rocking that out. I'm not as far as I would like to be, because I'm about to get out.
Okay.
So but it speeds it up. Having played the game before, doing the 3 times speed really helps to do that. But I found that I get frustrated sometimes in regards to the movement, and thought in regards to trying to traverse around a map while the speed's going on. and then kept getting encounters, and then I realized you can turn off encounters if you want, which I think is the really coolest thing. It's the coolest thing because the speed and being able to automatically get your limit break is great.
Yeah.
But sometimes which is really going to help grinding, which I plan on doing for a little bit. And I'm going to play through this, and then I'm going to play 8. I've told myself...
That's what I was literally about to ask. I'm like, so you're playing 7 on the Switch.
I'm going to get 8. I haven't picked it up yet because I knew that I wasn't going to have time to do it. That's a new thing for Patrick's mid-year resolution, which was you're only going to buy things if you're actually going to be playing them right now, because I would have a habit of going, I really want that, and buying it. Yeah. So I'm doing that now on games, unless I'm trying to help a developer, or if I'm trying to support a developer, that's a different story. But if I'm going to play it day one, Star Wars, I'm going to buy day one. Borderlands, I'm going to buy day one. But other ones, I'm kind of like, okay, I can wait a little bit. I'll get it later. I don't care about the price, but it's like paying it now versus paying it later when I don't have time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way to not increase your backlog. It's just I gave up. Not increase. Like I know that I know that I am trying to consciously buy things that I know that I'm lining up to play. There are some things where if it's on sale, digitally speaking, like I bought Cosmic Star Heroine on the Switch a few weeks ago because it was half off. And that's probably just going to sit on my Switch for a while until I get to it, because we're now 9 days away from Zelda. I still haven't started Gears 5 yet because I'm working on the Final Fantasy VIII Platinum. I wanted to start Gears, but I'm having so much fun with Final Fantasy VIII.
And Gears is one of the reasons that I started doing that, because I was going to get Gears. Yeah. And then I said, I'm not going to have time to play it and for a while. Like you said, Zelda's coming out, and there are ones that I can justify paying early. I don't have to justify this, though. Yeah. I'm buying Zelda immediately, though.
Yeah, no, I already have it preloaded.
Me too. I have it pre-ordered. I don't preloaded, though.
Oh, well,
I got
physical. Oh, no. Since it was a remaster, I didn't care as much. And like, that's what's funny about Nintendo. If they have it up for preload, it'll literally just sit there. It'll download the whole game for weeks, and it just sits there and taunts you. So it's just sitting there waiting to go till you can check the version. So I actually had a decent lineup of news. You can see my tabs. I had a good lineup of news, but there's a little show called Tokyo Game Show going on right now in Japan, and Square went ahead and just dropped this beautiful trailer. You're going to see it slowed down because I wanted to analyze it a little bit as it goes. So it's going 0.75. So if you think it looks funny if you're watching this live or on YouTube, it is going slower on.
A little bit of commentary on it.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously we already knew the visuals were going to be great. Textures are fantastic. But each of the characters, they fleshed out the really... unique looks of these characters and modernize them, because there are a lot of these characters that I think we've seen modern versions of Cloud and Aeris and everybody else. Like, we've all seen that, but modern versions of like Jessie and Biggs and like, I don't remember any of those ever showing up, but modern Tifa, okay, we've seen that. Yeah, she looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, like all of them look amazing, but yeah,
Twitter was going a little nuts on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, and that's the reason why they made the adjustment to her clothing. Yeah, which I completely get. But like every single character in this, I feel like they got the love that we've given the rest of the characters. Like
freaking Rufus,
right?
Or Reno, not
yeah, Rufus, Reno. Yeah, Reno. Not how I would have imagined him, he looks awesome. But he's great. He's okay. I love the I don't know. Like, I know that it's some people are gonna say it's very like Kingdom Hearts. Yes, that's why. It's like I said. That's why I said it was different. But my favorite part in this, we're actually coming up on. By the way, I love they're keeping a lot of the dialogue, or keeping it close to this. When they showed this, and then going forward, Don Corleone, like showing like him, but showing all of the bits that are going to be in here that we love from that. Because some people were like, are they going to actually do this? Because it's 2019. It's 2020 when it comes out. Are they really going to? Yes, they are. Yes, they are, because it's hilarious. That was one of my favorite parts. And being able to see as it comes in just a little bit later, where you get to see like the activities leading up to
you go to the gym, and before it was just Cloud doing squats. Apparently that's going to change a little bit. freaking Biggs and Wedge there. I can't remember which one's which.
I can't remember either, but like that right there, traversing, like, because in the obviously in the original, like that looks like they're traversing. I can't remember what it is. It's escape, when you escape with Eris to go. Because they're coming after you. But like, everything about this makes me feel like they cared enough to modernize it, but keep what we loved of Final Fantasy VII, which I feel like it respected everything that we want. Because immediately when I see that, I'm like, I know where they are. It's familiar enough and it's different enough to be really enjoyable. And God, that looks great. It's Ifrit?
And then Shiva pops up. By the way, if you're listening to this, so we're watching the trailer, so if you want to pull up the trailer and just kind of go along with it, I think there's Shiva.
There's Shiva.
So that tells you like that, where you're getting those summons too. Watching this, like, there's been several, obviously, like, critical things with Square Enix, like making this episodic and doing it, and they said that they're making a full game out of Midgar, where originally that's not even the first disc is over at Midgar. That's like half of disc one.
That's true.
They're making it a full game. Oh my god, it's so sad. I'm gonna cry.
I mean, I think
it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they also knew that like they could show that, and they're not giving away.
There's not a lot they can spoil. Like, you saw everything that they fleshed out, like where Reno and Cloud are in the church. There's a fight there where originally there wasn't a fight.
He runs.
When Rude, they normally run. They run, and then Rude shows up again. There's a fight. They're adding all these things. They're now fleshing out Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, whereas originally they had some lines and like you cared that your people died, but at the same time it wasn't really enough. Now you're really gonna care.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how long? If I'm replaying the first one right now. Or sorry, I'm playing the original OG. And replaying that, I'm thinking of, obviously I was young the first time that I played it, but like I felt like Midgar could have been like its own game. Like there's so much there, because I think I was obviously taking my time because I was a kid, but like I want to say it took me like maybe 15-20 hours, just that section. So if we're seeing plus 20 hours in this game, I'm going to be happy. I know a lot of people would probably be upset because that's not enough for them. But this, I don't know. It seems like there's so much that they could do, but I don't want them to add extra things just to add extra.
I feel like it's going to be like a 20 to
expand.
30 hour experience.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I bet you can even max level out. The only things that bother me, and nothing bothers me about this trailer, by the way. Like, nothing. Like, this is a perfect trailer. This is a great trailer. I wish it was March. Comes out March 3rd, 2020. Yep. The thing that bothers me is it doesn't bother me that it's episodic anymore, because if they're willing to put this much love, I actually had a couple thoughts where, what if they now are adding Zack into the game? They're adding a thing that they originally put on PSP as its own standalone game. Imagine that's just in Final Fantasy VII Remake now as a part of it. I feel like they're going to do that. That doesn't bother me. The thing is that this game was announced in 2015. It's going to come out in 2020. Hopefully they're already working. Like, I assume they're already working on it, but like, I really don't know if I can do a 5-year life cycle episode 2.
No,
like, it needs to be like 2.
I was going to say it's probably going to be my guess is they're going to try to make it a yearly, if not a little bit over a year thing. 2 is probably the max on this, because I mean, this is one of the most beloved, if not the most beloved Final Fantasy game.
Not named 6.
I think there are more people, and I'm pretty sure the internet has proven right that there are more people who feel that 7 is a better game than feel that.
I feel like people think 6 is better, but that 7 benefits from a remake. This frog part again, you guys can't see it, and now I've taken it off.
The frogs.
If you haven't watched the trailer and you're not watching it with us now, watch that and watch when Cloud gets turned into a frog and you can see his Buster Saber on
his back. Yes. Well, I think this we're able to modernize. I agree with you that it works best, even better than 6 did to modernize it, because if you do a remake or remaster, basically these are both remakes. Yeah. But if you did a remake of 6, there are so many things that you'd have to change to bring it into the 3D world that I think this one does benefit the most. I've heard a lot of people clamoring for 9, which could be interesting. I mean, we did the remaster of 8. I don't know what they're going to do next in regards to this. I hope they just take the time.
I think 9 stands pretty well on its own too. I just
9 aged well.
As much as everybody loves, like, there's a lot. Like, I feel like 7's also one of the most divisive. Like, in terms of you love it or you really love to be like, no, 9 and 6 are better. Yeah, and they might be in some ways, but you can't, like, nobody's ever going to be able to convince me that 7 is not the coolest. 7 is the coolest world.
It's the coolest world, and I think that it has so much variety in regards to places that you go. The world just feels real, and you have, I mean, everything from coastal towns to a casino, just everything in there. And I don't know, I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to experience it in a modern way.
Yeah,
we can keep ranting about that.
Literally, like I said, I have other news to get to, but that trailer dropping this morning, I threw it up. I couldn't wait to share it. I had to share it and, like, let everybody know, like, this trailer's so bomb. Like, so it's probably one of the best trailers I've seen all year. Just they hype it up so well. I just wish it was March.
Yeah, it'll get there. I reminded me to change my address for my shipping because I have the collector's edition coming.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. Update those addresses, everybody. So, on to the actual news that I had up. Starting with one of our favorite targets of GameStop.
Ooh, yeah.
So, they recently had an earnings meeting. I have 2 different articles for GameStop. This one's from GameSpot. In there, they said that they have a 4-point plan.
Yeah, it's always important. Always important to have more than 2 points.
Yeah.
4 points, good. And this is... I would say that they had 3 and then they tried to expand it.
Yeah.
Their points are optimizing the core business, like, basically in regards to efficiency and what they are good at. So I'm assuming that this is going to be like, we need to optimize how we do pre-sales, how we do resale, because that's one of the big things they do, and probably getting away from stuff that doesn't work for them or does not resonate, like the whole, like, buying up cell phones and stuff.
Well, they need to stop buying trash games.
Stop buying trash games. They'll buy anything.
Like, sorry, you can't buy, like, we don't buy Madden anymore. I apologize. Like, or maybe they only buy it for up to a certain, 6 months or something, 3 months even.
Madden, like buying
like
it
a sports game, like, so, like,
I'd say after like a year or so, because, like, I went in and there was like 2016 games that were there, and
I think that might be too long.
That's what I'm saying. That's way too long. I looked at them like, who wants this?
Well, that's just because they've been holding it on to inventory, though. That's the problem. Like, I think if it was me, I would say no more sports games. Like, no more yearly release games.
Because they don't age. We're not dogging sports games whatsoever. Like, you can because they don't age.
Yeah, you can do Call of Duties because Call of Duties do hang on. Those player bases, you can go back because and people like their specific ones. Like, I want to play Modern Warfare. Yeah, I want to play the World War II.
Yeah, Madden, it's like, no, this is new, and it has the updated rosters.
Yeah. I don't know. And so then they went for this, and this one is one that they've already referenced before. So they want to become a social and cultural hub for gaming. So from what I get from this is that they want GameStop esports. Like, they want a GameStop esports league.
That could be interesting. I know that. I mean, it has to be, because they're trying to be the hub. Like, they have a YouTube channel. They went away from GameStop TV. They have a YouTube channel kind of thing going on, which has 50,000 subscribers. Yeah, like, it's nothing.
That, or they want to go local, where they want to try and build. Because I don't know if you remember this whenever you were younger, like, that was a hangout spot for the nerds. Like, we would, I would go there after school for literally no reason. I knew my GameStop employees. Like, I would just talk to them about games.
Talk to them.
Wouldn't buy stuff really half the time. Like, I would. Like, my pre-orders would be open, but it was literally just because I just want to go sit around games.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see some small stores do this, because obviously, support your local businesses and everything. But if they're wanting to do well, I think that would work well. Or have places where you can hang out and they've got a console there that you can fire up and play games. Like, retro stores do that a lot, where they're like, this is the game that's being played.
Have like a LANCave. Type situation.
We'll do a partnership. I think that it would make sense that people can come over. They can hang out and like try out the newest game. I mean, it was one of my favorite memories from being younger.
Yeah.
Going into Best Buy or Best Buy is particularly, you had a place where they had the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
You go in and play Nintendo 64. That was so cool.
Then they want to build their digital platform, which made me laugh. Which they said included a recent relaunch of GameStop.com. So I went and I pulled up GameStop.com today. Yeah. It looks the exact same.
Yeah.
Whatever difference there is, I can't find it. This is just where I think they're going to be behind.
Well, didn't they close? They closed ThinkGeek.com, and I think they've closed ThinkGeek.com,
repurposed it
into
Which, if you go in the stores, there's actually some cool stuff for cheap. Like I've bought PlayStation socks from GameStop. Like there's just too much of it. Their product line is humongous.
That stuff works really well. I think that a lot of that stuff works well in ThinkGeek. I know that there are differences in productization.
Yeah.
But I've got a ThinkGeek and a GameStop at my mall.
Yeah.
And I will spend more time in the ThinkGeek than I will in the GameStop.
And plus there's not like 20 people asking if you want to like pre-order. And again, I know that's what they have to do. So I'm not dogging the employees in this situation. I'm dogging the situation that they're putting it in. But like, I can go into ThinkGeek and just to enjoy the nerdware as opposed to like being like, hey, do you want some help? Like, hey, you have any video games?
And the people at ThinkGeek, like I every now and then I have someone ask me for a pre-order or something. But I don't know if it's the way that they're trained or just because they're pushing such a variety.
Yeah.
But they seem to fit, like you were talking about when you know someone. So the ThinkGeek people kind of know me now.
Yeah.
Don't know me by name, but like they know enough about me that like we'll start talking and they start talking about things they know that I like.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do to build that type of socializations if they're wanting to, like I said, bring people into a store.
Yeah.
You need to know your clients individually.
So this
as
is just
Robert,
where I wonder,
I'm sure everyone knows his name there. So
and they literally like they call Robert.
Yeah.
I don't think Robert's in the chat today. As you can see, our window's set up to where I have a chat. But I just don't like if they're trying to build stuff at the store and they're trying I feel like they're trying to split focus a lot.
Yeah.
Which again is fine. They're smarter people than me. It's just I think that they're already pretty behind digitally. And the last thing that they said they want to do, and this is the part where like we can't really spend too much time discussing it, just because they want to transform their vendor and partner relationships to unlock additional high margin revenue. What high margin revenue is there in video games other than merch?
Resale. So reselling a game.
Yeah.
Merch. I can't think of anything. Like, yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think of anything else that would be there because collector's items and all of that isn't, it's not high margin. So I don't know.
And so they said that they want to like optimize. They want customers to come and stay customers of their thing, and that's where if they want to work with it, like I can imagine a world where they like maybe rentals is a hard way of putting it because it's discs. But if they had some type of rental system,
didn't they do that? Rentals, but I feel like they did that. They did that for a while. I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments.
Anyways,
GameStop.
But
peoples.
all of this to be said on that same exact meeting, they said they're going to close up to 200 stores.
Yes. Okay. So yes, I get it. I feel like they're trying to stop the bleeding.
Oh yeah,
they're hemorrhaging. We knew
this was coming.
We knew this was coming.
Yeah.
I think that the 4-point plan was part of a reassurance of this to say, okay, we're gutting what's not working because there are these stores, underperforming stores is the nice way of saying stores that are losing money. I mean, that's basically what we're referring. I mean, they're either losing money or they're breaking even, and breaking even is a problem. So if you're pouring money into keeping these, let's say 120 of those stores are losing money every single month, and the others doing okay.
Yeah.
That this is hemorrhaging their money when they're already in a really bad spot overall as a company.
What's crazy is that they said they apparently have like 5,700 stores, and they said over 95% of them are profitable. And I'm like, if over 95% of your stores are profitable, what is your problem?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That doesn't make sense unless
it's something that doesn't equal.
Yeah. You can't be doing that poorly, but 95% of them are profit. No,
you can't be doing that poorly and that awesomely at the same time, unless you are you taking too many corporate retreats? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean they may be doing well. It could be that, or it could be other types of corporate overhead. I mean, not to get into that, but yeah, I mean, at one point or another, like something has to drop. You can't make a profit and do poorly. That doesn't make sense.
That's where it was like
bonuses and all that.
Lying?
Is it like the corporate bonuses
like
thing?
You can't lie to your stockholders. There has to so whenever I read that, there's something that doesn't add up there. That's again where I'm not like an account, like I'm not a person that can really judge financial things. But if you're saying you're closing stores to do that, you have that many stores that you claim are profitable, I just have to question, where is all your money going?
Yeah, the 95% that surprises me. I didn't see that part.
Yeah,
so that's
so weird. Well, let's move on to happier things, shall we? Because
I've been waiting so long for more of this because we haven't seen any of The Last of Us 2 since last E3.
Yeah, because we skipped an E3.
Because we skipped an E3, and this was one of my favorite trailers that I'd seen in a long time. Not only the trailer, but the extended gameplay that they showed of it. It made me. It solidified the idea. Like I'm choked up just thinking about this. Watching this, it felt like they kept the heart of the first Last of Us.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like this was added on. I felt like this was continuing in the world, and it had the right tone, which is needed.
And that's where it's super hard because I mean, like Last of Us is a 10. Like Last of Us is one of those few like. And I mention it every time we bring up The Last of Us. Like, Last of Us is one of those games where nobody talks about the ending out loud. Like, anybody who's played it, and we're not going to do it here, anybody who's played it knows the ending.
Yep.
You still don't read it online ever. It's not anything that's openly talked about. It's not, and, if you've never played the game, like, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. But, like, you can... It's crazy, but it's that respected of a game.
The only time I see that is articles or videos that are very specifically labeled.
Yeah,
it's not just a hey, we're going to discuss it and then spoil, which is, I know we're in an interesting area now, like where people are concerned with spoilers. I am concerned with spoilers on certain things.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lash out or anything, but yeah, I think it's respected. It's respected enough and loved enough by so many people. I don't know anybody who did not like it. The only people that I've heard anything negative about was they said it was good, but they thought it was overhyped, which I could see that because maybe if you played that like just this year, I could see that.
And I told you it's one of the greatest games ever
made.
It is like
because it is.
The problem is that so like from a movement standpoint, like there is like some annoying combat aspect to it. Like the movement is not perfect. But you just don't care. Like, it's one of those things where, like, there's a lot of times where, like, I talked about Red Dead whenever it came out, and I couldn't believe that it was getting what it was because I think it was just too janky. I think it deserves, like, an 8. I think it deserves a 9, but I just couldn't see the 10s that it was getting. The
story's great and everything, but well, I felt like The Last of Us, I felt like similar to how, to Uncharted in the way that those games, the way the characters controlled in that, where it's not perfect, the movement's not one-to-one exactly what you want, but it's done to help the pacing of the character. But anyways, this is anyway, what we're actually talking about as we talk about how much we love this game is we're going to get more of The Last of Us Part 2, a media event on the 24th. So that is day before your birthday. That's right, it's 25th. So that's next Tuesday weekend, 2 weeks from now ish.
Yeah. So this was announced, and how we know that it's going to be something that's also well hosted is because the person who announced it was host extraordinaire Jeff Keighley, who we most recently saw at Gamescom, but the guy who does the award show, the Game Awards. If you were not aware, we know that some stuff was shown behind closed doors at a GameStop event.
Interesting.
They had they did one of those old school things where they have like a GameStop employees convention to show stores like what's coming, and they showed some Last of Us 2 apparently. So we're gonna get to see probably what they saw, but everybody's been tight-lipped, so we don't know.
That's so cool.
Anything extra. The coolest part about this is now that there's even a rumor floating that that's not the only thing that's going to happen that week.
I'm
thinking PS5,
you think that PS5?
I'm thinking some hype.
I think it's time. What we've had has been news and hype for the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Because you'll find an article with like an interview. You'll find every now and then, and the only people who are talking about it and blowing up about it are the people who do what we do, or the hardcore fans, which is great, which is fine. We love you. We are you. But I think we need to see something for the masses. I think we need to see not only more info, but it needs to be something that's more commercial in regards to the presentation.
So there's the rumor, and that article is from Push Square. The last 2 articles from Push Square. I love Push Square, by the way. If you were a PlayStation fan, Push Square is one of the best places for news. So there's the thing is it a state of play? So if it's a state of play, I'll still be happy with that. That means in addition to Last of Us 2, maybe we see Ghost of Tsushima.
I'd like that.
That's the biggest Sony game not named Last of Us that we're still kind of waiting on, other than Dreams, and Dreams is nobody's really waiting on Dreams.
There's a handful of people, but they're the same ones still playing like Little Big Planet and stuff.
And then there's Avengers, which could also be a part of a state of play, but screw state. Like, as much as I want a state of play, because I love me some Nintendo Directs, I love me some state of plays, I love that kind of thing. No, like Xbox threw down a gauntlet and said we're coming out holiday 2020. I need Sony to come out and say we're coming out summer of 2020. What? Man. No, even if they just do holiday of 2020 also.
I don't care.
I just need, because Microsoft still hasn't revealed the name. We're still waiting on that. I'm wondering when that's going to happen. That's not going to be an E3 event. It's going to be a separate event. Sony's going to do the same thing. They're not going to let anybody possibly like steal their hype around that.
Exactly.
I think if and this is completely a rumor. This is not official like the Last of Us is, but if there was a thing, like, it'd be awesome if they didn't reveal the name, even though we know it's going to be called PlayStation 5. If they call it anything else, I have no idea what they would call it. Like, but just something of just a little.
That'd be the least Japanese thing they could ever do, is if they ruined that beautiful, perfect order. That's great. It doesn't have to be 4-2 or something stupid like that.
Xbox One. Sorry, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Your naming system makes no sense.
Yeah.
So what I'm kind of thinking,
the next Xbox 2, I'm gonna lose
since they're not going to do it, since they're not calling towards a media event, because they would have people already hype, just like is what's happening with The Last of Us. That's a media hype event. If they did a state of play and included that in there, that way they could show Last of Us running on PS5. They could show Ghost of Tsushima running on PS5. They're going to be PS4 games. They're confirmed.
Yes, of course. Well, they're going to they're going to be backwards compatible. They're PS4, and they'll play more than likely better on your PS5.
Absolutely. Not more than likely. Definitely.
I think it'd be a smart. I think you're right, and I completely agree. Now that you're kind of talking through it, packaging that together. So having this new footage of The Last of Us 2 being part of that, to be like, by the way, you're watching this being played on PlayStation 5. What? I think it'd be great. We've seen, like I said, we've seen so much in regards to textures and everything that's going to be able to be done. But it's either way, I'm all about it because it's PlayStation, and I guess I'm a PlayStation fanboy to an extent. I love my Xbox, but PlayStation.
I mean, I love my Nintendo too. We talked about like last week's episode about the Direct. Like went all in, or 2 weeks ago now.
And it's still it's my favorite console this generation. Right now, it's my favorite console this generation.
But my PlayStation is still my baby. I'm playing Final Fantasy when I could be playing it on my Switch. I'm playing it on my PlayStation because I want the satisfaction of getting the Final Fantasy 8 Platinum. I want to, I'm just that big of a fan of that game. I love this system so much. So
speaking of the system, and the buttons on the system, PlayStation had a little tweet, and I will say this was PlayStation Europe. So I have my own things to say about this, but they said that that the X button is pronounced cross. Triangle, circle, cross, square.
Did you not know this?
I didn't know this.
Okay.
I thought that was just a British thing when I read this, because I'm like, I've never heard anybody say that. I talked to people in England, and they said, it's called cross. I talked to people in America, as I do all the time, and they're like, it's called X. I thought it was just a British thing, because I'd never heard that.
This is what was funny.
I was yesterday years old. When I saw this.
This is what was funny to me. I just threw this in there because it's funny. So any amount of advertising that you see, you know how you have like those T-shirts that'll have like words, like literally just like 3 or 4 or 5 words. They're always some fan related thing. Like if you do like, I don't know, there's an Office one that's like Bears, Beats,
Battlestar Galactica. There's one that has like all the list of characters, like
And so Sony has merch like that, and it says just like it says in this tree, triangle, circle, cross, square. It's been cross the entire time. Well, it's just somehow people never noticed or knew. I just thought that was funny because It's funny that you didn't know, and I did.
Didn't know. He knew. I had no idea. I'm like, what? And I looked. I seriously, I saw it. I said, oh, this is PlayStation Europe. So I have friends of mine, and I have coworkers of mine in England. I asked, and they said, of course it's cross. And they called me some things.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. So yeah.
But pushing that right into weird controller things.
Yeah.
What do you think about some ergonomically bendable Nintendo Switch controllers?
As weird as that is, and as a person,
I kind of dig it.
I like it. So those of you who didn't know, if you saw me with the splint on my finger, like I fractured my middle finger, and playing on these has been, depending on what I'm doing, it was a challenge for quite a while to play on the Switch again. And I was playing on Pro Controller and everything, but I think that makes being able to adjust it. If it was a brand new Joy-Con I'd have to buy that's separate, like no. But if it's packaged with it, and it is both. By that I mean brand new, and it's only in one position, fixed position. Adjustable, yeah, I'm totally down.
I want it to be adjustable. Yeah. And so this was from Engadget. Nintendo filed a patent in the United States for a thing. Who knows what we see? It's just what I find interesting about it, like, is just I wonder if you could even change out modules. Like, it'd be cool, like if you could like customize your own Joy-Con and make it. I know that's not the point at all, but whenever I was thinking about it, is you normally hold your Joy, your Switch if you're doing it, unless you have. Oh, I haven't got to show you this yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in person yet.
Unless you have the mount like I do now, it's holding straight. So imagine being able to kind of like straighten that out but keep the screen thing, because it would be awesome if you could like rotate it completely, like not even just, but have like a rotatable thing to where you can kind of do it wherever your wrist is comfortable. That'd be cool,
which would be a really good thing for accessibility for people who do have issues with their wrists or anything like that. In addition to that, speaking of controllers,
this one we missed last week.
Was it right after?
Yeah, it was with the Direct, so I didn't catch it.
Oh, okay.
But they have no real explainability to this, but what I later found out is a Pilates ring. I didn't know it was a Pilates ring. I've been doing some physical therapy, and they had one on the door, and I was like, "Hey, doc, what's that called?"
That's cool.
And they were like, "Oh, that's a Pilates ring," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. Well, do you know anything about games?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, well, Nintendo's making a Pilates ring."
That's great, and that's great because they may be able to use it immediately. I assumed that it had more workout functionality than, as you see here, people doing mini games with it, which I didn't realize that it was a thing. Other than that, I just thought it was some special design. Now I'm a little more intrigued than I was before.
Yeah,
because first of all, this is going to store a lot better than your Wii Fit boards that everyone still has somewhere, or they've given to a Goodwill or something. And some people still play it, but I felt like it didn't store as well. I feel like this is going to much more easily store places, and obviously there's funny games or whatever.
I think it's funny that they're showing this happening in groups, and I'm like, I would never do this with a group.
You say that, but I'm sure that there's funny things like there's one where it looks like someone's crushing like a watermelon or between their legs or something. Like, you say that you wouldn't do it in a group, but there are a bunch of people who will be like, hey, let's do this. It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Drinking may be involved, something may be involved, but like it doesn't matter. Like, I could see goofing off like that.
And if you didn't catch it, there's also a like kind of garter-looking leg strap thing. So one Joy-Con probably goes in the ring, one goes in your leg.
That's what I was thinking.
Probably some kind of proximity into it. We're going to find out more tomorrow, actually. So we'll probably talk about it again next week just to rehash. But I missed it. But the thing that Switch has been missing, and it's a weird thing to say that it's missing this, but Wii Fit was huge.
Wii Fit was huge.
Cool. Like, it was.
I liked it, and I know
Wii Fit trainer on Smash.
Yeah,
man. Come on.
Yeah. There's a reason that people continue that, and I mean, I have some of my friends who, like, I don't know if they still do it, but were doing it for I think for years. They were playing it. That was their way of getting some exercise. I mean, honestly, I was curious about it before, but now that I know that it's a Pilates ring, I'm even more curious because that tells me that there's even more thought than I originally anticipated into the exercise programs.
Yeah.
Because if they're Pilates-based programs, I may have to get one.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was
low
gonna say
stress
that
level. Like I'm extremely interested. Just, not only because like I'm a parent and now I'm packing on some pounds, but cool things to do with the Switch if they're fun, which the Nintendo knows how to do. Wii Fit was fun. Like it wasn't just that. It wasn't just a gimmick. There was a little bit of gimmick to it. You could obviously cheese it just for the sake of, but if you really wanted to do something with it, it's just encouraging you to move a little bit more while you're playing some games. And
speaking of that real quick, you're talking about like the fun games that like that. I know people joke about it or people don't like it, but I swear the game that gets more play than any other...
talk about Beat Saber?
What?
You about to talk about Beat Saber?
No, I was going to talk about 1-2 Switch.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone crapped on that. People were like, oh, that's boring, it's overpriced, whatever. But when you have people over, like you have a group of people who are gamers or non-gamers, it's like Jackbox. Like I can bring in anybody in there. We can and they'll laugh at one bit or another. It doesn't have as much length of replayability as Jackbox. Because I've seen a party start and end with Jackbox.
Really?
Yeah. Like, or there's a group somewhere playing Jackbox but people like end up going in and out. Not that that's all the party was, but like Jackbox started during the beginning of the party, and there were still people playing at the end of the party, and other stuff was going on. So I just think it's cool. It's accessible for people.
No. You make a good point there. So we'll see what kind of group activity there is to it too.
I don't sit and play 1-2 Switch alone, but I'll probably sit and play this one alone. Yeah.
And so a company that I know particularly well had an event yesterday.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about the phones or anything like that. That doesn't matter as much for this podcast. I do get to finally upgrade my phone, which I'm happy about.
Very cool.
I'm on my 8 still, so I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
But what does pertain to this podcast is Apple Arcade.
Yes, kind of what I was going to say was there are other podcasts that'll talk about the phones, and I'm sorry we could talk about it, but Apple Arcade. Okay, this made me immediately think, can I play this on non-Apple products because it's so good?
Yeah,
which it is. This is going to be able to be played. It's a subscription, $4.99. For the family. It's a family subscription for $4.99 playing on Apple devices. So we're talking tablets. We're talking about your Apple TVs. We're talking about your iPhones.
Yeah.
Macs even. And Macs. Like, so immediately I'm like, this is going to grab so many people from a budgetary standpoint. Just say, if every family who is it's in my opinion, if every family who has Apple products should subscribe to this. Because then you could play all these games you would have to pay a couple bucks or maybe even $5 to play. Yeah. Some of them are over $5.
And then what's totally awesome that I think that they should have highlighted more in the presentation, but what do I know, is that they are adding controller support to iOS.
Yes.
So moving forward, MiFi was already supported, which if you don't know what that is, it's just like a communication. MiFi controllers are already supported, but they're adding PlayStation 4 and Xbox One controller support to it in the Apple Arcade. The majority of the games are going to be touchscreen. Let's just be honest. That's what there's there's going to be icons on the game. Yeah. If a game requires a controller, it'll have a controller icon on it.
Okay.
That is honestly what interests me the most.
Yes.
What can I get for $4.99 that you're going to give controller support to? I may have a few Xbox and PlayStation controllers lined around. They sell mounts and everything that you can get that are super light and compact really well. You don't even necessarily have to do it if you have a pop socket on your phone or whatever, or like I have my iPad keyboard that acts as a stand.
That's what I was going to mention.
There's a lot of opportunity for controller support there. I don't know why they didn't hit on this at all, other than the fact that the majority of people are going to be doing touchscreen. I think you could grab more gamers to be like, hey, we're thinking about you.
I think so. I think they were trying to be like, look, we're going to talk to everybody. But I think just a real quick flash of people playing the game during this, and then maybe someone playing with the controller, because immediately people will be like, wait a minute, that's an Xbox controller.
Just put it in the sizzle.
Real quick in the sizzle. We're going to all pick up on it.
I just didn't know why they missed out on this, but I'm going to be a sub for obvious reasons, but also, not everybody knows the obvious reasons. That's okay. But for $4.99, it's something where I have a kid moving forward. At some point, we're trying to avoid the screen time right now, but at some point he's going to start grabbing for the phone. He's going to start grabbing for my iPad. there's going to be, obviously making sure that we're going for age appropriate here, but there's going to be games included in that I know have been curated. Yep. I know that the whole point of this Apple Arcade thing is so that not everything is dinging you with microtransactions. It's something where you just have access to the game.
I'm so excited about
for that sub. Yeah. It's they're games that have been put into that thing. The one funny thing that I wanted to mention is that they started with Konami. Yeah. I cracked up. I was at work and I was like, they literally picked a game company that has the worst reputation right there, and they're like, what? And a bunch of people were like,
next
why?
to Capcom.
And a lot of people were like, why? But I didn't go into it, but I thought that was hilarious. But then they bring up Capcom, who's killing it this year. So.
Capcom's doing better this year. A few years ago, I would have said Capcom had the worst. Konami completely eclipsed them in regards to that. I agree, but being able to safely give that, which is one of the reasons why I said every family with iDevices needs this. Yeah. Because the kids will be able to play games. You have accessibility. Obviously, you can talk about limiting screen time. We're not going to tell you how to parent. But being able to have this here and not worry about microtransactions, in my opinion, which is more detrimental than actually paying the microtransactions. Yeah. But teaching your children about that type of predatory practices. Yeah. I'm like, no. Let's just play a fun game. Yeah, that's what matters, and that's why I said immediately. I was like, I don't have I don't have my iPhone anymore, but I was thinking like I would totally do this. So I'm considering getting Apple TV, like getting maybe a used Apple TV to try it out. I mean, why not?
Or if you're gonna get a tablet, I mean,
or if I'm gonna get a tablet,
still make the best tablet.
No, they are. Like I switched to Android. It was not like a hate iPhone thing. Yeah. Like we've talked about this before. Like I've had both. I like both for different reasons. I want to try this out. I like it.
You got the Pixel, right?
Yeah, Pixel 3, Pixel 3 XL. I'm liking it. At the same time, saw the new iPhone thing and thought, I wasn't having buyer's remorse, but I'm like, this is really good.
They look
so
nice.
I may switch back. I've switched back and forth on my phones. But yeah, you're right. In regards to tablets, I've had Android tablets and I have a Windows Pro, the Surface Pro.
The Surface, and the Surface is nice too.
It's great, but it's still PC. Yeah. Like if I want a tablet experience, it's all about.
And with the new iPad OS that's coming out, that we specifically, it's supposed to start mimicking more desktop feeling things. Not everything desktop in terms of Mac. Sure. But like, for example, I don't know if you know anything about this, but they're introducing with Safari, you're getting full web browser. So it's you're no longer getting the mobile web browser.
Version.
You're getting
that's
the desktop.
Fantastic.
So that's nice.
I'm liking that.
And other thing that they mentioned at the Apple event that it pertains to this podcast, because we love us some TV and some movies.
We do.
So Apple TV Plus is Apple's TV service starting in November. They are doing all original content for also $4.99 a month for the entire family. So $4.99
for game, an additional $49.99 for the content here. Yeah. Which there's a lot of looks like really interesting and
different ages.
Ghost Rider bringing back that apparently back. Yeah. That looks interesting to have the. It's similar to what Disney's doing. We talked about Disney Plus. Start with a really low buy-in and get as many people on board as possible. And if they've got some good programming, that may grab those families to say, at $4.99, that is completely worth it. And Apple can purposely lose money or break even for a while on it to get those subscribers on.
Well, what's crazy about this is you were talking about buying maybe a used Apple TV. If you buy, I don't know how it works yet, but they announced it. If you buy an Apple TV, probably after it starts, like the Apple TV Plus starts November 1st. You buy it, they'll give you a year just with your purchase.
So that may be worth.
That's like what, $60?
That's $60. So that may be worth getting a new one. Yeah.
Just if you were going to get it anyway, and it's all original content, so there's no additional things that they're giving you. It's just you're literally just paying for Apple produced content, which makes it. I find this really interesting. Like, we talk all the time now about how all these companies, leaving cable is leaving cable, and this is adding another one into the mix, but they went for a low price point, and they're not saying like, hey, we're going to bring you in with like The Office. No, we're bringing you in with Jennifer Aniston, but we're bringing you. We're not bringing Friends, but we are bringing.
Jennifer Aniston.
But we're giving you
maybe some cameos.
I think this is intriguing, and this is what Netflix has been trying to do in terms of original content and focusing less on it. I think if Netflix, imagine if Netflix did an only original programming version of their system, where like imagine Netflix for $5 for only Netflix programming. You don't have access to The Office or Friends or Parks and Rec anymore.
I think there's a ton of people who would immediately buy in on that. I mean, you get your Stranger Things. Yeah. You get a bunch of other shows. The new Queer Eye stuff is Netflix. Like, there's so many shows on there and a bunch of movies.
Bunch of shows.
Yeah. There's so much on there. I know people joke around about how many there are and how I would say the only drawback I have is like the variance of quality. Some of them aren't filmed or the audio is not as good as some of the others, just because it's different camps that are doing it as opposed to all being done by one. But yeah, I'd totally buy that. So $4.99, $5.99.
It makes me wonder if anybody would do that. Hulu doesn't have enough programming, but they have The Handmaid's Tale. But if they started doing, Handmaid's Tale won an Emmy. So if they started doing more things, like Hulu already has like a cheap buy-in point if you are willing to watch ads.
Yeah, but nobody else is offering it as an option.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, you want Netflix? Okay, Netflix is what? It was $13.99 now? Yeah. Something like that. And then if you do the HD, and then
what's Disney's price?
$6.99.
Yeah. And that's all Disney programming.
It's all Disney programming, yeah.
I think that this is what more people
need. That could be
like,
the key.
DC has one too. There's a $7.99. I think that's too much.
If everything was like $4.99, I think $4.99 or $5.99. If they were around that price, I would buy up so many more. CBS, which even then that's not bad.
Picard, baby.
I'm getting it for Picard. Okay, I'm getting it for Picard. I know you and I have been talking about we're gonna watch Star Wars. We're gonna have time to talk about that. I know that we may not have time to talk about all of this, but Picard we'll make time because we're gonna talk about Star Wars. We're gonna have our countdown of all the Star Wars movies. Starting next month. Mandalorian we're gonna be watching as well. It may not be our review may not be out as quick as some other people, but we're gonna be watching that, and I'm gonna be watching Picard as well. So I figured we'd probably have to throw in some discussion. Maybe it may not be a weekly one on Mandalorian and Picard. Maybe we'll do I think
it'll probably have to be like a season
wrap up.
We did a spoiler mode of Endgame. Yep. And we talked about like the MCU leading up to that. I'm not going to go through Next Generation or anything, but I just don't have the time for it right now. I'd rather watch Deep Space Nine anyway.
Deep Space Nine's better.
But to catch all that, you are either going to have to like us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, where we're live every single week, or you can subscribe to us on our podcast services everywhere, including now Spotify.
And if there's some place that we're not, let us know so we can see if we can get in on that, because we want to be where you are. What is most convenient to you in your life?
And I know that nobody likes asking this or anything, but a thumbs up.
We really do.
Helps.
It helps. Sharing, it really helps. And everyone says it, but it actually does help the
every once in a while. So you got your friend that's like, hey, do you listen to any podcasts? And it's like, actually, I do. I actually host a podcast.
That's right.
I got to share that at work, and I got us 2 new subs on Apple services.
Very cool.
So hey, hopefully they let us know what they think. Continue to do that kind of stuff for us. It was a pleasure to have you in Texas, Patrick.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here and be back soon.
Yeah, you guys.
Cool.
Have a great rest of your evening.
See you later.
Okay, bye.